Okay, so this is my tribute to and eulogy to Brenda José. Okay, you have seen sitcoms, TV shows, the swan song of the singer groups like MASH. Have you heard of MASH? MASH is like an old sitcom. It's about Vietnam but it's like a sitcom. Please usher them. Or have you heard of Everybody Loves Raymond? Yeah, Everybody Loves Raymond. I'm sure there's the latest one. I'm not with the latest sitcom. I'm sure there's a lot that's very exciting, but these are the ones that Brenda used to love. Or Seinfeld. Seinfeld was very big in the States. Or Friends. Friends was very big. Or Beatles, or Destiny Child. When Destiny Child, Beyonce left Destiny Child, everyone wondered, will Beyonce be doing well? Or even Robbie Williams when he left Tic Tac. So a lot of people thought that me and Brenda, we've been co-coaching for 12 years. So will I be doing well? Will she be doing well? Those were the big questions. So let me tell you a story. MASH, some of you are not born. Some of you are Gen Z, right? And the Gen Z, those born after 1990, yeah? No, 1990, correct. So MASH was aired in the last episode of MASH. MASH, I think it's to do with, is it Korea or Vietnam? Vietnam, right? And it's actually, it's kind of deaf comedy, kind of a real twist. Because people are dying, but there's this humor. There's a guy that dressed like a guy, and it's really fun. And then the last episode was aired on 1983. 60% of USA were watching it at home. It was the biggest ever last episode. And people were crying at home. It's like, you live with, you live with an episode like this for 10 years, and then you become part of that. So a lot of people cried, and it's a long show, it's 2.5 hours. So then people say, why don't you continue? It's at the peak. Why don't you continue doing it? It's the peak. You can at least act a few more years. So why? Why do you want to split? So now I know why. Because letting go for the best right time to end. Okay? So it's about letting go a concept, an institution, to end at the best right time. Okay? At the and it's the last peak of the many peaks and valleys. There's in a show there's peaks and valleys. So and for the creators, the creators means those who created MASH. They know when's the best time to end. No one else knows. So me and Brenda felt it was the right time. You all didn't know. You all wanted it to continue. Everybody wanted it to continue, but only the creators know it. And me and Brenda created this duo. So it's not planned. It just happens. We didn't plan to go like, oh, we're going to end, okay? And Brenda and myself have experimented it and tried to split. In 2007 and then 2010, but it didn't feel like it. So on the third time, this was it. So on 2nd January, she said, that's it, she's going back to Hong Kong. She want to take care of her parents. She literally physically left Malaysia for Hong Kong on 4th February. So that physical thing was quite shock to me. Okay. Before that, she's only 6-8 kilometers away. Kind of she's still there, lah. She's always there, and we co-coached from 2000 to 2012. So she's always there, yeah. And so Brenda, the shining beacon of light. The word Brenda is actually Irish. It means prince or little raven. The raven, the raven, crow, raven. And it also means beacon on a hill, Some scholars believe it is believe that it means stinky hair. Really, Brenda has a meaning of stinky hair. It's actually an old Norse origin that means, it's a sword or it's a torch or it's burning. So, and I wrote this whole thing. What I admire about Brenda is this: her fierceness. I think you agree. Her fierceness and fearlessness. You say she kick ass, right, Kumar? And then she's an alpha female. You know what's an alpha female? In the pack, she's the alpha female. She don't mince her words. And then she'll say it as it is, spontaneous, on the spot. She doesn't analyze, she just do it like this. And she's often the mirror in workshops. A fire gang, a mirror. And then although she haven't read many books, but she's a great problem solver. A lot of CEOs will source her, right? And also I admire her for her coaching, her counseling, mentoring, her no BS attitude. It's BS, right? I often call her, she's a no BS girl. Like you don't mess with her, okay? But in a nice way. She's never rude. She's very classy. She wants the best from you. But it's tough. She'll give you the bitter pill. She won't sugarcoat it. But that's the truth. And I think that's where people appreciate that, right? I also admire her for overcoming Crohn's disease. Let me tell you what Crohn's disease is. Crohn's disease is what she suffered from 1995. When I met her, she already was suffering undiagnosed for 1 year. When I met her, she would vomit. She's really skinny, like 80 pounds. Did not know what is it. And then she tried all types of medicine. She tried Chinese medicine, Western medicine, vegetarianism, acupuncture, but there was no cure. And then she took a workshop. It's called Eulogy, which means the water of life. And that 4 days, I know she cried. And it was a very wonderful workshop. Right after that, the Monday, she was admitted to hospital. That was the first operation she ever had in her life. And the operation was 7 hours. It was explorative. That means the surgeon weren't sure what's happening. Because apparently, this is what Brenda told me, that there were 2 surgeons in Queen Mary Hospital. They were debating. One of them say, I'm not gonna operate on her. It's very late tonight. I'm not gonna do this. Then there's this UK English, UK Chinese surgeon that say, no, she's gonna die, man. And they were debating, and she's hearing all this like 10 feet away, and she's going like, oh, what the hell? What's happening here? And then the UK said, okay, if you're not gonna do this in Canada, 你唔做咧，我自己做啊。Because 佢真係死㗎，你唔做咧，我做。So then she went on. He went on and said, I'm going to operate on her. So it was 7 hours and 7 inches, and they took out 7 inches of her intestine that was perforated, and it was perforated means it's broken, busted. So she could have died, but she didn't. She went on to live another 18 years. I think that was the best 18 years of her life. Plus and minus some parts, okay? And she lived and she became well. Okay, I'll tell you more about Crohn's. Crohn's actually affects your intestines. It's usually your large or your small intestines, and usually it's inflamed. Inflamed means it's not smooth. So a lot of vegetarian told her to do vegetarian. Not good idea. Why? Because it's fiber. It's like imagine sandpaper going through your intestine. Not fun. And then it's not a fun disease. She will vomit 30, 40 times a day. She'll just throw up and throw up. Crohn's is like this. My brother is a doctor. He described it as a mini SARS. You know SARS? SARS is this. SARS actually is over immunity. It's not actually under immunity like it's the opposite of AIDS. AIDS means you get anything, you're dead. SARS is opposite. It's over immunity. It's the system seeing like everything you see, is an enemy. So it's trying to have high fever to kill the They think it's an enemy there, lah. But actually what it's doing is it's killing its own self. So my brother says this, SARS like this is machine gunning the whole system. You know, like a high fever. And that's why people die in that few hours or few days. And that's why they use steroids to, the steroids is not to cure, but to suppress the fever. Because the genes is killing himself. Yeah? So this is a wonky genes, this Crohn's. It's wonky in that it doesn't recognize good from bad. So when it's a bad bout of Crohn's, it will say, hey, even the water you're drinking is poison, and you will throw up. Kind of get the picture? And she cannot absorb, probably she can only absorb 1/4 of nutrients of the inflammation. So that's Crohn's disease. You can Google search it and read more. Wow, I wrote a lot. Maybe I don't read all this thing. I'll just pick and choose. So I just wrote that she's the Rock of Gibraltar. You know what's Rock of Gibraltar? She's the anchor, and my million thanks to her. She's my co-coach for 12 years. We dance, we together in coaching, we turn around companies. We played good cop, bad cop. She's always the one that played bad cop. Right or not? She always played bad cop, right? And then she's damn good at it, right? Yeah. And of course, Papillon is a big part of Brenda and myself. Oh, I even wrote a personal note. So this is both a very happy and very sad occasion for me. You started as grasshopper in Rainbow Master. Okay, I have to I created a spiritual workshop called Grasshopper in 1995. And in the West, when you say grasshopper, the master will say, okay, grasshopper, today we're going to learn this. Okay? You know, it's like the karate, what? Karate kid, oh, grasshopper, come here, grasshopper, you know? So it's just a joke, lah. But this grasshopper, I became the grasshopper. You are my rudder and I was your anchor. We have this concept that she's my rudder. That means she guides me in all my life. I will go this way and she guides me back. I'm her anchor in that she says that once my anchor is strong, she can fly. But the anchor is not strong, she can't fly. So this anchor and rudder was a very interesting concept, thing that we did. And that's good. So I don't feel it's a goodbye, I feel it's a new hello. I miss you already, I love you dearly. Namaste, I bow the like in you. That's what I wrote.